Got a spaceship map that I downloaded, so
Okay.
I'm good to go as is.
Okay, everyone, welcome back. This is DM Bloodworth, and I am joined by Padre ET and Blue Larry Kukak. Uh, Padre is returning for this second round of this gaming session, and we are running Star Frontiers, and this mission adventure is called Jet Cans and Creole. Padre is a human by the name of Will Anderson, and he's primarily a military man. His secondary PSA is agent, and his tertiary is technology. And we're joined by Larry, who is an agent as his primary, an agent with a emphasis on stealth, and then sciences of both environment and a medic. When we were last here, uh, this is a part of an away team. They were part of a 4 to 5 man away team, and they are operating off of a CDC ship known as the Zydeco. And what they are is they're a salvage team. The CSS Zydeco is a deep space salvage vessel, and they are salvaging, or in the process of salvaging, the CSS Linkota. It's a system ship, a transport ship, short range freighter, and it was in the Cassadine system of Triad, so it is a local run for them. And we are going to pick up where we left off when last seen. The group was clearing out the workshop area of this ship, which if you look at the screen, you'll see that that is Area 4. So they had entered through Area 2, which is the escape pod entrance, which was left open, and actually the entire corridor here from the escape pod to the cockpit and up through this other connecting corridor were all open to space. So the first thing the team had to do once they entered the ship was to secure and bring some power, auxiliary power online in the cockpit, which allowed them to then seal off the pod area by dropping a blast door down, which also sealed off their exit from that position. So now they are going to push through. They do have the advantage of having the maps through their data pads, and so they know the map in layout of the ship, and they have an itinerary or a manifest of of items that they are to retrieve off of this ship before they package up the cargo and then make their exit out of this area, which is the bay doors of the cargo bay. So getting back to the adventure, the while activating some of the systems in the room, the maintenance robot in this area, had basically gone kind of bonkers, and the team was forced to utilize their robotic skills, and they were able to disable the robot without damaging it too much, and that allows them to, of course, package that up as well, and hopefully return that to their ship as salvage. All right, gentlemen, do you have anything that you want to say or do at this time before we proceed?
Can you just give me a brief description of what we see in a workshop area?
All right, so in the workshop area, um, you had picked up several. Your manifest had included the robot repair kits and spare parts, the power cores, the data from the robot reconstruction generators, securing that equipment required, both engineering skills plus computer operation skills. So you were able to retrieve those things. Then, while there, you were restoring some power to the workshop area, retrieving those files, and as a side note, you were able to disable the maintenance robot
Hmm.
so that you can now transport that back to your ship as well, which was an added bonus that you weren't really planning on picking up as part of your manifest.
Okay. Do we know what happened to what is the history of this ship? Why is it being salvaged or abandoned? What do we
Uh,
know? There was some signs of struggle here.
yeah, there's no signs of struggle. It was a derelict ship, and it was being investigated by the Cassadine Development Corporation to see what exactly happened here. Um, but there was no signs of like any kind of blast marks or anything. Just that the escape pod doors were left open, the cockpit was left open, the everything was open to space with the exception of uh, where the ship is marked here, going from the workstation area. This blast door was closed at the time. So,
So it sounds like they left in rush.
yeah, they obviously left in a rush, and you know the only areas that you've entered so far have been 1, 2, and 4.
Do we hear anything besides
Uh,
ship noises? If
yeah,
there are any machinery noises or
yeah. The Since you put on the auxiliary power, you do hear some systems starting to kind of rattle into operation. So you had turned on, or the team that was ahead of you had turned on the life support. So you're no longer in your spacesuits. That was another thing for you, that you did have to travel over here in your spacesuits. You've now since removed at least the helmet portions of your spacesuits. And
do we have any sort of time frame that we have to complete this mission? Do we have time to move around and explore the rest of the ship?
yes, I mean, you have an itinerary of or a manifest of items that you are to secure. Um, you weren't really given a deadline of how quickly you have to do this. You're in fairly safe space, and
Okay.
so there's no concerns, um, at least at the moment, about anything like that.
Sure. So, like, if there's nothing else obvious in the workshop area that we're in, uh, I suggest that maybe we clear this section by section. So the captain's quarters is
I
to
think,
the
yeah,
north.
maybe search captain's quarters and see if there are
Yeah.
Yeah,
anything of interest there. Just snoop around
right.
and
In the medical,
And then also to search the medical bay. It's like
yeah,
where's
the medical bay, you do have some items in the medical bay to secure. So
okay. So I can head there, and then
Right.
it's not that big.
Right.
And then
It's
we'll
it's
clear the
not that
captain's
big.
quarters, and then
So Larry, you having a medical PSA.
Yes, I think
So
I have interest to get into medical section and
okay.
examine it. And
Yeah. So yeah, you both go in there, and let me just read the description. So the medical room. Once again, you have a list of goods to salvage from this room, mostly computer records and supplies. So that'll require both your your computer usage abilities and or your medical abilities. So I think you both have something to contribute to making an attempt to secure these items. So I guess we'll have Larry. You can go first with your medical.
okay, it's a D100.
Yes, it's a D100, and
Do you want me to do that on roll 20, or do you want
yes,
to
you could
go
do that in
for
roll 20. A13. All right, so that's a. And your medical ability is what's the total?
Is that under intelligence logic?
Yes.
It's 50-50.
All right, so it's a 50. So that's roughly a 13. All right, so that's an exceptionally good roll.
how do you see death rolls on rule 20?
How do you do dice rolls? Or see that they should be in your. Yeah, if you click on
Can't see
the chat box, that's in the upper. Can you see my icon where I'm pointing to? If you click on chat, so here's my cursor. If you click on chat, that will bring it up.
I can't see your cursor. I see like on the top left, it looks like I have a square grid pattern with a point arrow on the.
Yeah, if you go all the way to the left-hand side, it says chat. Just click on that.
Are you on PC, Mac, or on iPad?
The Mac browser.
Yeah, so within roll 20 on the right-hand side, there should be 5 icons in the top right corner. The very first one is
Actually,
like
6.
little
Yeah.
2 chat balloons.
Yeah.
We're talking about roll 20, not the.
Yeah, I'm on roll
Yeah.
20. There's 6 icons on the top left
Yes.
corner.
So hit the chat one. That's the one that's a dark bubble, like a word bubble.
I see 5.
Yeah, I have 6. I have my settings. Maybe you don't have the settings button. All right, so there you go. All right, and 14 is a very good roll as well. All right,
So while we are there, beside looking for the items we're supposed to look for, I would like to take a closer look at any other items that might be missing in a number or quantities that it makes it unusual, just out of curiosity.
that's an interesting thing. Yes.
If that
So
would
yeah,
give me any clues as maybe towards if they had some sort of emergency before they left, or.
All right. So yes, you check the medical supply cabinet, and you know to check its like manifest records of usage and such, and you don't see that anything has been used. So the entire medical supply bin is full. Um, Everything that's supposed to be in there is accounted for, assuming that their inventory list is accurate. But you don't see any reason not to suspect that it's
Okay.
it's not. All right, and Will, your check allowed you to, to access the computers and to begin the process of downloading the ship's the medical database.
Cool.
Okay, so after about 20 minutes or so of, going through this medical lab, and a lot of the process is just waiting for the downloads, and checking through that inventory, and now you start packaging stuff up into a like a travel cube to secure all of the items that you're supposed to, um, and then you leave that in place. All right, so are you going to,
I think we'll go back to the workshop and
yeah,
proceed to the door towards the captain's cabin. And before they opening the door, I would like to, just try to hear. I can hear anything on the inside or anything unusual.
yeah, you don't hear anything actually. That the captain's cabin's door is open.
Okay.
So you're able to just walk in there, and
Okay.
very similar, setup to, other ships that you've been on, as far as, a private cabin is concerned. There's a bed. This
Is bed
particular one,
made out or is it messed up? What
uh,
kind of state is bed?
the bed is messed up, so it looks like, it was used, but certainly not made.
Does
Um,
Captain have a military background? Do we
uh,
know?
that you don't know. It's a civilian ship.
Yeah, but does he have a maybe,
Yeah,
military past?
yeah, you didn't actually get that in your briefing as to, who the captain was. You don't know anything about the crew according to your mission briefings.
Okay. Are there any personal items, any pictures or
No, there's
photographs,
no personal items on the desk.
memorabilia?
No, there's no identifying markers or anything. The bed is just unmade. The latrine area, the bathroom area, seems to be, you know, fairly, you know, fairly typical. No toiletries laying about or anything like that. Everything is in its cabinet. Um, no signs that it's been used recently.
Okay, if there's no personal effects, let's go into the lounge.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
move
I can
into,
barely hear you, so I don't know if that's on my side or.
might be on your side because I hear him fine. You
Yeah,
can
just is the door to the lounge open
no into
into the lounge area?
into
What
the
door is it?
lounge area. So the lounge area is 7.
Yeah.
Uh, no, that door was closed.
Okay. If you want to work on the door, I just like because it's a big room, I just want to sweep the room, like make sure it's empty before we go in with our firearms, and then we'll go in and search the room when we open the door. But we have to figure out how to open the door.
Okay. Well, you'll be definitely the first one to step in. I'll be right behind you.
So if you can hit opening the door, I'll draw my firearm just to sweep the room
Okay.
quickly from the outside, and then
Yeah,
we'll go in.
the door slowly opens up. Not as fast as it normally would be, but the ship is still on auxiliary power. So it's kind of you kind of just slowly watching it open up. And the The lighting in the lounge area is, is dim. It's basically emergency lights only. Are you
Okay,
going
can
to?
can we use the lights? Like we should have lights on our spacesuits.
Yes, you had light sources on your spacesuits,
So
and
those
so
I'll put on, and then
Yeah, I will turn on whatever lights I have on me
all right.
on a spacesuit, or if you have some sort of electronic torches, or
yeah, probably work my way around the room, like enter from the right side of the door, go
do I
into the
smell something unusual
secret
here?
room, and then
No, you
counterclockwise.
don't smell anything unusual here. Hold on a second. I got to turn off my
Sorry.
alarm.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I can barely hear you there. So if I'm talking over you, because I cannot hear you. Are you there?
Yes, but my input volume is maxed.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was hearing it pretty clear and loud earlier,
Okay.
and now
Sorry about
just
that.
like down to 10% maybe.
All right. So you're going to enter the room, and you do a quick sweep, and you have your lighting on. You don't smell anything. You don't hear anything other than the ambient sound of the the ship, um, you know, ship, equipment and everything, kind of running in the background. You could hear the humming of the lights, and the ventilation system is certainly running. You start scanning through the lounge, and much like the rest of the ship, I mean, it looks pretty deserted.
Okay. Also, any signs that they left in rush? Are there any items on a table, on a lounge table, that normally should maybe be there or should have been cleaned after?
Yeah, you do see on the on some of the tables where there's definitely like glasses, and plates that were left behind on the on the tables.
It looks like there's a little hollow chess game there from like Star Wars.
Yeah, there are like the remnants of food left on the on some of the plates.
Okay, I just want to kind of clear the room before you start going through it. What is in the center? Well, the north or the upper part of the room, that circular thing. There's a door there.
Um, there's
It looks there might be a passage to that turret on the top of the ship. It looks like a ladder
Yes,
passage.
that's a ladder.
Oh, okay.
That's a ladder that goes up to that turret. Yeah, it's the ladder for that gunnery turret.
Not sure.
Is the any of the weaponry on our salvage list that we're supposed to collect? Or
No,
the table?
the weaponry was not on your salvage list.
Okay. I think we should go down to crew areas in the crew quarters.
All right.
Yeah, number 8.
And I'll let Padre lead the way.
All right.
Sure.
So again, you go into the crew area, and once again, it's it's obviously it's empty, and the beds are not made, but you still don't see any you don't see any kind of identifiers for the occupants at all. There's no hominess to it whatsoever. So no photographs, no personal items, nothing.
Okay. Do I smell anything? I want to use my Rusk senses.
Yeah, still again nothing
Like nothing unusual.
out of the ordinary, nothing unusual.
Okay. Well, from that lounge, if we go back to the lounge, is there anything in the lounge area that we're supposed to collect for the salvaging company?
No, the next area that is on your manifest is to go to engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, take out engineering. Looks like it's a double door.
And I'll let Padre lead the way
Okay.
whenever he's ready, in case we want to do that slowly.
Yeah, still sweep the room first, and then we'll go in.
Okay.
Nice
So.
door side of it.
All right. So engineering. So here you see the mechanical and computer access points to the ship's engines. Most ships have a function where partially emptied cells can have their fuel transferred or consolidated into just a few outer cells and then removed. This process is almost fully automated, but must be monitored in case the ship's engines have been damaged. Critical failure of the transfer can result in an uncontrolled burn-off, leakage, or even an explosion. All right, so basically what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to initiate a balancing out of the fuel cells and then remove those fuel cells for salvage.
Okay. Is this more engineering task or is it something that requires dexterity?
This is an engineering task.
Okay. It's all your Padre.
Oh yeah. I have some computer skill, so hopefully we can handle it. The other guys, I thought the
Yeah, the other guy was an engineer. Yes.
the engineering guy. But we can't tap his skill. Well, we'll look it up at the computer there. You should have seen something like that before somewhere.
Okay. All right. So you can make a computer roll and see if you can piece it together.
Okay. I'm sort of bracing and hiding behind.
Exactly. The disclaimer is my tech roll is not my highest.
Yes, Padre's famous for exceptional rolls.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
I might
that
put my
is
dexterity to use and get hell out of that room.
okay. So that is obviously a fail. All right. So you were not able to initiate the transfer correctly. So
Is there anything that we can do by hand, manually, or some sort of way bypass that, or is it just too complicated to do it manually?
so either the transfer flawless. All right. So yeah, you're getting an indicator that there is a leakage. All right, and an alarm is going off. And you're not quite sure, what to do. Not being very experienced with engineering yourself, you're really not quite sure what you should do at this point.
I think we need to get out of this room and start probably collecting our prepared packages with the equipment we're supposed to extract and start pushing it towards the storage hold.
So as you go out of the engineering section, are you going to do anything as you pass through that door?
I think we should put our helmets back on.
That is a good idea, yes. And we'll definitely seal the door behind us. Not that it will help, but maybe it'll give us a few extra seconds.
All right, yeah. So you close the door. You make sure that you close the door behind you. You're putting on your helmets just in case. And now where are you going to head? You're back in the lounge area.
You want to go to 9? Is that where we put our exit?
Yes, that's
Our
where you're
Jameson
going
cans?
to make your
And
exit.
and we have to return back to the workshop area to collect our stuff, or
Right,
are we
yes,
able
you're
to carry
gonna,
it? Okay.
yeah.
Okay, we'll do
So
that.
are you
So
gonna get this
Jameson.
stuff from the workshop area and the medical area? You have a
I
couple cases
think
of,
Padre should probably
yeah,
open the door and make sure that the storage hold is clear. Maybe prop those doors open and then transfer the salvaged
Sure.
equipment as fast as possible.
okay.
So open the room to the 9. Pie slice, sweep the room, and then go in and just sweep the room. Well,
All right, so you open the area to 9. All right,
I'm
so
hiding right behind Padre.
so
I'm using him as a shield.
all right, so the cargo hold. Having secured the salvage from the manifest of, at least 3 out of the 4 objective rooms, your team makes its way into the cargo hold. It is here that you're to set up your Jennison canisters and then launch them into space for retrieval. You arrive in the cargo hold and see the bay doors where you'll be loading up those jet cans to begin, and you begin to set up the canisters. So the canisters are actually, they're small, compact devices, but as you activate them, they actually expand in size, and then you can insert the materials and everything that that you had gathered along the way, including kits and such. Uh, the fact that you did not get the fuel cells means that you really only have to set up one canister at this point, and that's for all of the other robotics repair kits and medical supplies and everything like that. Um,
okay.
you were going to use a separate canister just for fuel cells. All right, that way it doesn't, contaminate anything else. It's so you've only secured, the one canister. All right, so
Okay. So before we go any further, I would just like to scoot around the room and check the cargo, whatever there is any cargo in the cargo area, and if there's anything that seems out of ordinary, anything that is
yeah,
broken, busted,
as
already open, missing, obviously missing. I'm looking for any signs, of dust collected,
okay.
cleared. Any signs that there was something removed of size or.
All right, so both of you make a roll, and this is based on
Okay.
perception.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Well,
There you go.
okay. All right, as you guys are, setting up things and looking about and everything, you notice actually both of you almost simultaneously notice a security robot has suddenly activated, and it starts to approach you. All right, so it's it's an OES-1 security robot, designed primarily as a facility defense robot, assigned to guard duty at various OE facilities and on board ships. Uh, it is a humanoid limbed body. Has, set of, 2 arms, 2 legs, basically an android or robot type body of it.
Is
It
it armed?
is, yes, it is. All right, and it is approaching, and it is pulling out its laser rifle.
So we take cover. I don't have computer hacking skills, so draw my weapon and try to move to its flank.
Okay.
But whatever.
I will use my dexterity to, dive for the cover.
Okay,
If
so
there's a chance to fire, just let me know.
oh yeah, we're gonna roll. Well, you weren't surprised, so all right. So you can roll initiative and check to see your initiative modifier. I know
Is that
Padre.
D10 or D100?
It's a D10.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So Padre, you don't have an initiative modifier listed here, which is kind of weird on your.
It should be your RS divided by 10, rounded up.
Yeah, for
So
some
mine
reason,
is
yeah,
7.
yeah, you didn't list it. So, yeah, so it should be a 6.
All right, mine is 7, and I rolled 5.
All right, so if you could just test out you know that you can do the pluses, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Sorry, yeah, I'll do that next time.
yeah, so 7, 5, and oh, what did I do? Okay. All right, the robot does still go first. Okay.
Okay, maybe it won't shoot.
My God gave us cover. I told you I should have brought the laser rifle.
You should try to get his attention, and if he's going towards you, I'll try to use my speed to get behind it. And I don't know anything about robots, but I'll do my best to unplug anything that it's unpluggable on the back of it. It's a far-fetched, but I don't see plan B right now.
Okay, so it trains its rifle on Padre.
Next time I bring the laser rifle. But it is easier to hide with a pistol.
All right. However, so it does fire off a shot and it misses you.
Or when can we return fire?
You can return fire now. It's your action turn now. Both of you.
So do I roll a D100 again?
Yes, you.
Okay, I'll try to use my stealth to move behind the robot.
Okay.
I'd recommend.
Okay.
I
All
have
right.
no pluses, right? It's just a roll the D.
Yeah, it's just a roll. So your which weapon were you using?
I think I had a laser pistol. I think was because we said we weren't using rifles.
Yes.
Coming over.
Yeah, you had well. Oh, that's Zulky. Yes, you had a laser pistol. So your.
It was given right out of our
Yes,
choice of
out of the thing. So
weapons for our away team.
let's see. So you are going to roll a. All right, so you could roll for damage now.
What does a laser pistol do?
You're gonna roll a D100 and it'll determine the amount of damage you do.
Is there any benefit of shooting that thing in the back?
All right, so a 49. Okay. Okay, so you did have it was half it was a half effective, hit.
Okay. So is the robot moving fast? Is it?
No,
Shifting towards me? Is it stationary?
it was not moving fast.
And
It
it's
was
not on our. Oh,
moving, fairly fairly. I'm sorry, I'm looking for some reason I can't find the weapon damage. Hold on a second. Here we go. Um, okay, roll a d10.
okay.
All right, so that's a 9. All right, so you did about
Yes.
5 points of damage to it. All right. All right, Larry, what are you going to be doing?
Well, I attempted to use my stealth to move behind, if there are any crates or any sort of cargo in that area, use it to, move around behind the android. And I used D10, D100 and got 70, so.
All right, so yeah, you weren't able to. I mean, you're certainly able to move, but it definitely it's not like
It did
your
not turn out
movement
to be
was
stealthy.
unnoticed. Yeah, you certainly didn't stealth your way around, but you
I,
were able to move your way around without, stumbling or anything like that.
Yes, I would like to move sort of to be able to see the backside of that robot. And my understanding is most of these robots you're able to disable them by disconnecting things or their backs. I just want to observe this machine and see if I can see something very obvious on its back.
Okay, we're gonna roll initiative. Make sure you add your.
How do I do the calculation for the initiative modifier?
You just add it. So if you did a 4 plus, you rolled a 4 plus your initiative modifier is it's 1/10 of your reaction speed,
Okay.
rounded up.
Yeah, so just a slash roll d10 plus whatever is the number.
Okay.
So you rolled a 9, right? Yeah.
Plus 5.
A 5. No, how is it? Oh, you're adding 5.
Right. It's for reaction. It's, you said divide by 10, rounded up.
Yes.
So
That's
RS's reaction. So it's 55, 5.5.
yes. So rounded up would be a 6.
6. Yep.
6.
So you rolled a 10 total.
Yes.
Okay. And you, Larry?
I rolled 13 total.
13 total. All right. So Larry, you're going to get to go first.
Okay, so I don't know if that's part of my move. I would like to observe if there's anything obvious on the back of this Android that would indicate that there is some sort of control panel or something that I could, use my dexterity to try to disarm it.
Yeah, not having you can make a roll on robotics, even though you're not really trained in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a roll, and we'll see if you can detect anything of the sort.
Okay, that would be a D100,
Yes.
46.
Yeah. No, you really don't see anything. That could be helpful. I mean, there certainly is like a like a back piece to it, but it's not like you don't recognize anything that looks like you know
Okay.
a latch or a plug or any kind of thing like that.
Do I have a chance to still shoot? I assume that I'm carrying some sort of laser pistol as everybody.
Um, Now, I would say like you were pretty intense on trying to maneuver around and still spot its back and do that. You might have
Okay.
to wait on that. All right, you're next.
So D100, right? I
Yes,
don't have
yeah,
any
you're
modifier.
shooting again. Oof. All right. So now remember you can utilize the you can utilize as many SEU as your pistol has, and that will give you additional D10s. It's just that you'll run through your pack faster.
Okay, how many shots are in there with
All right,
normal?
the clip that you have is you have a 10 SEU clip. So you already fired one.
Right. Oh,
Normally
okay.
you would have this set ahead of time. So
So next time,
all right,
so if I set it for 2 next time, it'll add plus 10, you said?
yes.
Okay, I'll set it for 2 for next opportunity.
All right, so just make your D10 roll.
So what actually happened when he rolled 1 on D100? He
That's a
completely.
that's a critical hit. We'll just see how much damage he does. All right,
It's a
so
D10, right?
yes, a D10. So you rolled another one. All right. However, all right, even though the shot didn't appear to hit like very very hard. It did seem to, possibly hit something vital, and so the robot actually did not respond in kind. It did not return fire, but it seemed to do some kind of a, like a quick diagnostic or a quick check of the placement where you just shot it.
Excellent. Okay, when we're ready, you'll fire again.
Yeah. So.
Is this new round initiative?
This is a new initiative, yeah.
Okay, I got 13 again.
Okay. And 13. All right, so you're both going to go first.
After you.
All right, I'm just going to, drop my observation and I'm just going to shoot him away. I'm going to pull my laser pistol and blast him as best as I can. So that will be D100, right?
Yes.
16.
16, okay.
Yep. We're looking at my dexterity skill for shooting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so shooting, if you look at your under skills and you go to you're using beam weapons. Let's see. Okay, so roll your damage. How many SEU are you using?
It's a laser pistol, so is there like a rounds that I'm?
Yeah, there's like 10 rounds, 10 SEU per clip. I mean, you could use as many as 10 in one shot, and you'd be empty, or one at a time, two at a time.
Even for the laser pistol, I thought it was just for the needle, sort of.
No, that's even for a laser pistol.
Well, since I didn't call it before I rolled it, obviously, I'm gonna say 1.
Okay, so just roll a d10. Okay. Okay, you're up. Will.
Did that cause any?
Yes, it did cause damage. So it did hit it. You hit it probably from behind, and so it did take a pretty decent hit from it.
So I roll the d10.
All right, and yes, you roll a d10 now.
So I'm expending 2.
All right, yes. So roll 2 d10s.
So the laser pistol has the rate of 2. Does that mean we can take 2 shots with the laser pistol, or?
I think it's expending charges for, is it damage?
Yeah. All right. So yes, it's damaged again. And okay. All right, the robot seems to be malfunctioning at this point, and it just starts to shut down.
Cool. So, Larry, are you close enough to disarm it? Can you disarm our robot?
Well, I can certainly run up to it and get to it fast, but with my meagerly 25 strength. I'm not sure I can even wrestle down the dying android.
No, it's almost it's down. It's shutting down. All right,
Okay.
so it actually comes to a it's no longer functioning.
Okay, so we
Okay.
should just
It,
I'll disarm the rifle and we keep loading and get out of here.
Okay,
yes.
so
Is there some sort of data log that we can pull out of this robot just for future
yes, you can
6? Maybe will give us some sort of clues
right.
as
Yeah,
to what happened
yes.
here.
So with the malfunction security robot neutralized, you complete the objective of setting the jettison cans out to space. You receive word. Um, you receive word, so you get a comm link, and you receive word that the jet cans have been retrieved, and that you are cleared to return to the ship once you're resuited up and you do your short burst or short burn rocket pack back over to the ship.
So before we do that, I just want to do one more quick check over wherever that android came from, if there's anything unusual on that side of the ship.
No,
Nothing there to
nothing
look at.
there.
And as far as
Okay.
our salvage
Suiting
that's
up.
barring the injured
Yeah.
energy cells, we're set to go.
Yes. All right,
Sounds
so
good.
after having stowed your gear and about an hour of rest, the intercom breaks away from the music that continuously plays. All away team members, please report to the officers' lounge. Once in the lounge, you see the captain and the first officer seated, and a view screen has been prepared. There are also some refreshments, food and drink at the table, and the captain cordially invites you to sit and relax and have some food and drink. You watch the entire mission, which was recorded, every detail analyzed, every success and failure praised or suggested for improvements, and it becomes clear that the entire mission was a field test. All right, so the derelict ship was actually just a testing ground.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right, so that's why things were kind of out of the ordinary, and so they were running you through this test to do some various like simple tasks, and um, of your skill sets and everything, just to test how you guys can clear through the ship and basically follow through. Um, so they did literally keep track of every aspect that you were doing. Um, so like they're going through, and Padre, you basically had some critical successes. Um, only one failed skill test, and the
Sure.
rest were adequate to meet the needs.
Oh yeah.
Larry, you had 2 critical successes and 1 fail and 1 adequate. Obviously, you weren't there as long as the other team members. I mean, Silver Lion, when he was part of the team, he had probably done the most skill checks of anybody. Probably about 10 to 12 different skill checks, and Zolke, same thing. So the way that the experience points are divvied out is that you can get between 3 and 5 experience points per game session, and no more than 10 total for a mission. So this being your first
Okay.
mission, I would say, and it being fairly controlled, not very dangerous at all, I would say 7 points would be fair for that